Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Debz Cooper, Global Stressologist, talking to you currently from New Zealand. So welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you are here live, I'd love to know if you're live or if you're watching a replay and where you are in the world. Standard thing I start my videos with because I'd really love to know. So today we're talking about what to do if you're truly broken. And I feel a little bit of a spark in me actually when I think about this. And I was thinking yesterday when I was starting to look at the content of what I was going to say today, I was a little bit like, oh God, I wonder if I'm going to cry. But there's just something that switched in me about this because I think maybe I'd forgotten how powerful being truly broken actually is. And I went into the sympathy state, the sluggish behavior that happens when we are truly broken. So first, let me talk about what truly broken is. And there's different levels of being truly broken. There's emotional and there's physical, obviously, and they can both go hand in hand. So we all have moments when you're truly broken and you do not believe that you can get out of the situation you are in with whatever's going on. So just be aware of this levels that you're at. I sometimes rate myself from a 0 to 10, 10 being absolutely chaotic, absolutely frazzled, like the Christmas tree lights in your mind, like that, and 0 being completely zen. So there's different levels when I say truly broken. There's days when you may feel like a 10. There's days when you may feel like a 7. There's days when you feel like there's a 3. And they're all okay. And they can all be labeled truly broken because you can feel that energy in your body and in your mind. So that's your physical and your emotional. So when I talk about truly broken, the scenarios I was thinking is where you just can't move. You just can't move. Well, that's also physically as well, but even emotionally, you just can't move. You can't see any steps beyond where you are right now. You may be crying. You may just cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. You may only just cry for a little bit, for a minute, 30 seconds, a little bit more, whatever. Also, when you're just exhausted, and I emphasize that word exhausted because that's the same. When you're truly broken, sometimes you're just exhausted and you can't see past your nose even. You can, but you feel like that. So you're exhausted. Or, I talk a little bit, you can't think straight when you just can't. And also when your body just stops. When I talk about your body just stops, you go to take a step somewhere and you're left with, what am I doing? Where am I going? What did I come here for? What was I supposed to be doing? And that's what I mean when I say your body just stops. It literally just stops. And the body and the mind are not in alignment. The thought of, I know you're thinking of all these things right now, moments when you've had your different levels of being broken. The thought of doing something physical, like maybe going for a walk or a run or anything, like when I used to be a runner, I used to go, God, chaos going on, I'm now going to go for a run. The whole thought of that may just be so overwhelming, you can't even contemplate going for a run. Like, well, what socks do I wear? Do I wear my normal shoes? Do I? Or do I put my other shoes on? And they're the types of things of the level when you're truly broken. Remember I said about a 0 to 10? This is what I'm talking about. So if you can't decide on what color socks you're wearing, there's another level of being truly broken. Because everything and anything overwhelms you. You just can't make a decision about anything. So don't. I'm just going to say that right now. Don't make any decisions about anything when you're in this state, because the energy you put out is the energy other people receive and the energy that you're going to get back to you. So if you're just going, I can't decide, and you say to someone, choose the red paint over the pink paint or whatever, you may regret it. So step 1 is don't make any decisions. None. Zilch, none, nada. what I'd love to let you know is reminding you that you have been through challenges before. So when I say you've been through challenges before, you've been through things before, elation or deflation, and you've survived, and you're here telling the story now. Well, whether you're telling the story to somebody or yourself, you're here now. So be aware that you've been through things before and you've got through. Yes, it may have felt like you're going through a barbed wire fence. I get that. Sometimes it may not feel like that. There's different levels. Remember, we talked about the 0 to 10 number of your level of chaos. So just know you've been through all sorts of challenges before and you're here now. And also be aware, don't have any fantasy that you'll never get a challenge again, because there's more challenges for you in the future. Just like there is for me, there's always challenges around us going on. But it's how you handle it. So it's wise to talk about trust. And trust is a really significant point in what I'm saying today, is trust. Trust that whatever is going on, it's going to work out. Trust that those around you are going to do morally and ethically right. Trust that the decisions you make, the non-decisions you make, whatever it is going to work out. And I've got this quote from Steve Jobs. Let me just have a read of this, because this is actually a really interesting one that I loved. And this was also in one of my favorite books called Codebreaker by Sandra and Daniel Biskind. So they've talked about trust, and one of the things they've said is you can't, this is Steve Jobs' quote, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust your dots will somehow connect in the future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma. Steve then went on to say, this approach has never let me down, and it has made all the difference in my life. And that's Steve Jobs. So you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. But you have to have trust that the dots will somehow connect in the future. And I think that's a really interesting quote from him, because it does say trust. You must trust that. So I think that's a really great one just to remember. And that's what I said about you've had challenges before and you've got your way through. So if you were to label the challenges you have in the past and getting through, etc. now, if you label it a transition state, if you label it something, I just sometimes find it a little bit easier. So if you label it that right now, if I'm feeling broken, okay, I'm not doing anything. I've got all these things I need to be doing, because someone else is telling me I need to be doing it, or whatever it is. So label it that you're in a transition state. You're in a thinking process. You're resting your body. You're doing whatever it needs right here, right now. And that transition state doesn't matter how long you stay there for. That's important for you right now to listen to what your body is saying. So I talk about grateful, being grateful, gratitude, blessings, whatever you'd like to call it, benefits to you. Be grateful. And if you can write down the benefits or log them into your phone or whatever the benefits of what's going on for you, being grateful for what's going on you, how whatever is happening to you right now is enhancing your world or helping your life or adding value to your world, whatever you'd like to label it or how you'd like to do it. If you can have true gratitude, and I'm talking about true gratitude, not just, oh, I'm grateful the sun came out today, which we are grateful the sun came out today, but that could be seen as a little one. I'm grateful that the sun's come out today because it just means I'm getting my vitamin D. It also helps clear up the garden, and it allows me to do my washing. If you can expand that, true gratitude, and don't skim on it, there's going to be a significant shift in your soul, but also in your brain power here. So one of the things I suggest to people is put it into your phone, do a reminder in your phone. If you're in that real funk, truly broken state that you perceive you're truly broken, if you put a reminder on your phone for every hour, and when that hour comes up, or 30 minutes, or whatever suits you, think of something you're grateful for. Just one thing. Just one thing. Don't overwhelm your head. Don't go, I must do 10 things, I must do 20 things, I must do 30, or whatever. Just do one. Just do one. Because the next time you might do 2. That's okay. Or you might just do 1. But if you can think of one thing you're grateful for every hour in a 24-hour period, I guarantee it won't take that long before your truly broken state will change. I guarantee that. One value to your life, one gratitude every hour, and see how long it takes for things to shift. You can also do this anytime a negative thought comes into your mind. You can go, okay, so, I feel I've got tummy pains and tummy cramps or whatever's going on for me. Okay, so what am I grateful for? It doesn't have to be related to the tummy cramp. It can be grateful for anything. So every time you have that negative thought, think of something as well. So be grateful you're safe. Be grateful you've got internet. Be grateful you can watch this. Be grateful that there's little parts of this here that you agree with and don't agree with, and parts that you're going to put into your brain for when you're truly broken or when you perceive someone else is truly broken. These are just real simple tips. So my other thing is, you must do whatever is calling for you. And whatever this is, it is obviously needed. So if your body says, I need to stop, then stop. If your body's saying, I need to cry, grab the tissues and cry away. Just, wipe clear. Or let the tissues, not do anything and let the tears run. Do whatever serves your soul. If it says watch TV, listen to a podcast, listen to whatever, watch whatever, read a book, just lay there, do whatever it is. The key here is not to think. You don't have to think, I need to find answers right now. Just like we talked about, I talked about Steve Jobs. You can't connect the dots looking forward. Okay? So don't think what needs to come to you. What do I need to do? How do I get myself out of it? Just think of those things. Don't think. The answers will come to you when your soul is ready for those answers. So the more you try and push things, the more desperate you become. And we all know desperation is incredibly unsexy, but also doesn't serve you. It ages you. It doesn't help with your soul's calling. You become more and more, and you're like that hamster on the wheel. So don't get yourself to that desperate state. And one of the other things to do when you're truly broken is reach out to somebody. Now, that somebody may be a friend, it may be a family member, it may be to your animals, it may be to something. It may also be to me. There's nothing worse than feeling like you're in this alone. You are not alone in this. If you reach out to 5 people and only one person answers, that's okay. There's still that one person who answers. There's always someone there who can listen to you and talk to you. So I am here. You can reach out to me. You can book a time with me. You can even just send me a message to say, hey, you don't know me. I've been watching your videos for a year now and I really resonate, and I just want to let you know I feel like I'm broken. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Reach out. You'll get an answer. You'll get an answer. But the moment you reach out to someone, the moment you put any of these strategies in place, you've already started to healing yourself and start to put the pieces back together. So if you have any questions here, I'm just going to jump on here and see if there's any questions. If there's no questions, doesn't look like there's any questions, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. That's Debz Cooper signing off. What to do if you are truly broken? Be grateful. Be grateful and write it out. Thanks very much. I will see you next week. Drop me a message if there's anything you'd like me to talk about or anything. Other than that, I'm over and out. If I can do this properly, and thanks so much, people. See you next time.